Kathryn. Kathryn from the
Here we go.
Justice Welfare now is going to come and talk to us about a deeply racist program.
Good morning, everybody. So my name is Kathryn Wilkes, and I'm here today as a representative of No Cashless Debit Card Australia to bring the voices of thousands of forced Indue Card trial participants to this place. I'm here to ask this government to exercise its power and show mercy to stop this divisive policy, which is seriously harming the most vulnerable members of our communities. The cashless debit card has failed. Government's own evaluation has proved it. It has failed people, has redirected hundreds of millions of dollars in spending away from services and support. It has failed to meet its own objectives and has failed on human and economics rights grounds. The most recent evaluation released by the LNP themselves has shown that 84.5% of people, there was no positive impact from the cashless debit card after 4 and 5 years of trials. That same report also showed that domestic violence, crime, poverty has increased in all trial sites. It showed that people who are managing before rollouts are not managing now. It reported that cards did not help unemployment, had little to no impact on addictions, and has not helped or made the lives of people forced onto the cards any better. For far too many people, life is now worse than it was ever before. Many of those people were already at their lowest ebb. Now they're facing unsurmountable economic and social barriers and struggling to cope with the psychological impact of having control of their daily choices stripped from their hands. Over 80% of people on the cards are experiencing abusive levels of social stigma and suffering, a weight that is cruel to expect them to keep bearing. This policy has driven many people to acts of desperation just to survive it, and has driven some less able to cope to end their lives. In our region, mums and dads are sleeping in tents on the river or on people's backyards. Housing security and mental health has declined across the board. I hear from cardholders across Australia every day that conditions in other trial zones are not much better, and in some places conditions are even worse. The impacts of this policy, which intentionally targets women, the disabled and carers, has been disastrous. This policy is a social harm. It is an abuse being committed by our own government, and it needs to stop now. By government's own definition of the terms, Indue cards are an act of financial and domestic abuse. Today, I hope to speak to as many members as I can, try and compel them to see the urgent need to act in defence of the powerless and prevent the Morrison government continuing that abuse.
Hear, hear. Hear, hear.
Thank you, Kathryn.